All right, and welcome to another episode of All Things Real Estate. And as always, I am your host, Kyle Seyboth with Century 21 Real Estate, and we are a brokerage here, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, 7 offices throughout Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, and we're looking to continue to grow. And unlike any other episode today, we have a guest with us, and we brought on another real estate agent. So we brought on a real estate agent within the brokerage, and I am proud and privileged to introduce none other than Wilkins Henderson. Wilkins, how you doing?
Pretty good, Kyle. How you doing today? Thanks for having me.
Good, man. I know you're excited to be here. I'm excited to have you here. So what we try to do on the show is number one, just kind of talk about your background, what you did before real estate, how long you've been in real estate, what are your goals, and what type of people do you like to help out. So what were you doing first?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I was a plumber first.
Okay.
I was a plumber, and that's how I got into real estate. I really love the way the aspect of real estate is, helping families find their homes, and I fell in love with it. You know, that was my real dream from the get-go. You know,
Good.
So I'm very excited.
So you went from the plumbing business, right, where you're working with people.
Yes.
Right, you're helping people with their plumbing, you're helping people with HVAC, whatever that looks like, right? So you're helping them with their pipes. And now you transition, still working with people, but just on a bigger scale. You're helping them purchase and sell houses.
Yes.
Right? How long have you been doing real estate?
I've been in real estate for 10 years. As you know, we was working together at Keller Williams.
Yeah.
And then when you started your own brokerage, I came along with you. I love your drive. I love the way your work ethic. And I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome. And we're excited and pleased to have you. And you know, you were someone at Keller Williams. It's funny because you started 10 years ago. I started 10 years ago. Kind of got in the game at the same time. Know a lot of the same people. And I think one of the things I like about you is you have a nice, diverse background. You understand how to work with folks that live in the city. You understand how to work with folks that live in the suburbs. And you're trying to take that thing and help your business grow to the next level.
Yes.
What do you like to do more? Do you like to work with buyers more or sellers more?
I like to work with both, Kyle.
Okay.
I feel like, you know, with buyers, you know, I like to explain the process of home buying. It's very important. You know, you got to set the standard right away. Let them know what to expect. You know, not to get their feelings down, especially now in the seller's market.
Right.
You know, they need to be confident. They need to know that things happen. Sometimes their offers don't get accepted. But with agents like me and you, Kyle, we get things done. So.
Right, and I think you hit a good point there. In this market, in the sense that it's a really difficult market, right? So it's really hard for us to get our buyers the properties they want. You've been working with a buyer in that 500 to 550 range. I know. I don't know. Have you found them anything yet?
Yes, we have found a home on that.
Awesome.
But they decided they're just going to wait right now because the home, after doing the inspection, wasn't the home that they were expecting.
Yeah.
So we're still continuing the process. We're still looking. They're confident. They're ready to go. We just got to find the right house.
So that's something that we try to do as a brokerage. When we work with our buyers, it's imperative that we tell the buyer, hey, look, this is your purchase. This is your 30-year commitment. You need to be comfortable.
Yes.
And there's no better situation or better feeling for a buyer to have than to have that comfortability, you know, the comfort level of saying, okay, great, I feel comfortable, I'm confident, this is the house for me.
Yes.
Because the worst thing you can do is you can actually push that buyer into something they don't want.
Exactly.
And when you do that, it actually turns out for the worse, right? Because now that buyer, 3-4 years down the road, it's like, man, Wilkins just did me dirty. You know what I mean? Like, that's on Wilkins. That's his fault. So I think that's important that you kind of take that same mindset and that same strategy into working with buyers. So out of your 10 years, right, we were talking yesterday.
Yes.
I don't think you've done a ton with foreclosures.
No.
Right.
No.
Right?
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to get more information and working on more
So
foreclosures.
what we wanted to do today was just kind of talk a little bit about foreclosures, what a foreclosure is, what it means, and how can a buyer benefit from it.
Yes.
So my first answer to the question is, what is a foreclosure? Do you know what is a foreclosure to you?
Yeah, foreclosure home is when the owner of the home, either a bank institution or someone who owns the home, has lost the home to default. Now the home gets put back into the banking system as a foreclosure, and where the bank is just trying to make anything possible to get their money back from where they put in for the previous owner.
So foreclosure, person owns a house, person doesn't pay on the house, property goes back to the bank then sells it.
Yes.
Right? So with a foreclosure, the first thing people need to understand, there is no human selling the property. It's not a situation where I'm selling it to you.
Yes.
It's a situation where the bank is the one, that's going to make the determination, what's the property get listed at, how much do we sell it for, and when do we close?
Absolutely.
So in a foreclosure, there's no human interaction,
Yes.
right? The only interaction is with the banking institution. Number two, and I'm going to ask you a question and get your thoughts. Do you think there's a lot or a little of foreclosures in this market?
Right now, I believe there's little of foreclosures in this market.
Yeah.
What's going on now is, since it's a seller's market, we don't have a lot of inventory because houses are flying fast. But as far as foreclosures, the interest rates are great right now, and the economy doing pretty good, even though due to the COVID. I don't see the foreclosure having a deep impact on our economy right now.
Yeah, so you were spot on. So foreclosures are almost non-existent. So buyers that are looking for these quote-unquote deals or these foreclosures or these off-market, like those deals are not really happening right now.
Exactly.
There's not a lot of foreclosures, probably the least that I've ever seen in my 10 years. So at the end of the day, as a buyer, as an agent, as an investor, you have to find other ways to get properties that are depressed. So think about it like this. A seller who actually owes money, right? So a seller who owes money on a property, but they're behind. In a market that the seller's market and the values have went up, they don't have to foreclose.
Exactly.
They can just sell it on the market.
Yes.
Put it on the market, sell it, pay off your debt, and move on.
And it will sell fast.
And it will sell fast. So a foreclosure is, in essence, a situation when the market's poor and the seller has no other choice.
Correct.
They have to let the property go and they have to move on. Now, the last question on foreclosures is, how does it benefit investors or buyers? What do you think? Like, what do you think is a good way that what can a buyer do with a foreclosure?
Well, basically, what a buyer could do with foreclosure is, first of all, save a lot of money on the purchase.
Yeah.
And, the buyer can go in, put whatever taste they want in the house as far as fixing it, repairing it, and getting good appreciation value after the fact.
So one of the things that I think people mess up on with foreclosures is, if I'm going to buy a foreclosure for 100,
Yes.
and it needs 100, I'm going to be in it for what?
200.
200. If I can buy a finished house for 200 that has everything, or 180 that has everything that I want, the foreclosure is not a better deal.
Exactly.
That's what people mess up, is they look at these foreclosures and say, oh man, I'm going to buy this one for 100. This is the one. But you can just buy something for 180 that's already done. So why would you buy for 100, put 100 into it, and it doesn't make any sense?
Yeah, that's a great point, Kyle. I explain that to my buyers all the time.
And that's a part that I think people don't understand is, yeah, foreclosures are good, but not every foreclosure is a good foreclosure. Not every deal is a good deal.
Yes.
And so many people look at a deal and they're just like, yup, I'm getting a good price on it. That's a good deal. That's the deal. That's the one. We got to make it work.
I agree, Kyle. I feel like foreclosures, they differentiate big time when it's a buyer's market and when it's a seller's market.
100%. The other thing with foreclosures now that people need to know, the bank, when they list a foreclosure, they want 100% of asking price until the 30 days go by, and then they're going to drop the price.
Yes.
So there's no negotiation right now.
Correct.
Foreclosures, unless they've been on the market 30 or so days, you're not going to get any negotiation with the bank right now.
Correct.
The bank is sticking to their guns. So the days of offering 30 grand below asking, that just doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Those days are gone.
Exactly.
Now, will they come back? Yes, they will.
Yes.
It's a cycle, and everything kind of goes through a cycle. But right now, we're at the top. So when you're at the top, it's not going to happen.
Correct.
Foreclosures, your questions, I think, for me, what questions do you have?
Well, basically, Kyle, you answered a lot of my questions. I have a lot of investors that, they're calling me every day. Hey, Wilkins, can you give me a list of some foreclosures? Can you give me this? Can you give me that? And unfortunately, I got to be realistic with them and let them know with this market, there's not much out there.
Right.
But they're better off finding a great deal that's on the market that's not a foreclosure, try to put a little love into it, fix it themselves, and, try to get the most money on it. Yeah, because it's a hot market. Great market.
So one thing I would say to help your investors, you can use HUDHomestore.com.
Yes.
You can use Hubzu.
Yes.
You can use auction.com.
Yes.
You can use Zoom, XOME.
Great information.
So those are the 4 sites. If you have investors looking, that's where I would look.
Thank you, Kyle.
I would say, okay, if I have investors looking, let's go on HUD Home Store, let's go on XOME, let's go on Hubzu, and let's go on auction.com.
Great.
Those are the places where you're going to find properties for these guys.
Yes.
And if they get used to that stuff in a hot market, when the market turns, normally there's like 30, 40 houses on there.
Yes.
You go on now is like 1.
Yes.
So you just have to understand that right now is a weird time, right?
Yeah.
So right now is not really the best time. So at the end of the day, just get accustomed to that market.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? End of the day, what are your thoughts? How long does this seller market continue?
End of the day, I feel like the way the world evolves, Kyle, supply and demand. Right now, if you look in Rhode Island, we have nothing for inventory, which you know with everybody now with the COVID stuff going on, and we have the pandemic and the remote working. I don't know if you noticed, Kyle, we have a lot of New York plates, Massachusetts, New Jersey. They're all flocking Rhode Island. It's like we're a hidden gem here. So I feel like the market is going to be very strong for a while. I'm maybe looking maybe about a year down the line, a year and a half, the market's still going to be very strong as far as interest rates are low. And we have tons of demand, man. It's been awesome for us. It's been great to help people out. So
Demand is high, rates are low, supply
rates are
is low.
correct.
If you were to guess, February 2021, February 2020, what's the percentage we're down in supply from last year?
Oof. Big 1 year difference, I say about maybe 100%.
Nope, 50%.
Oh, 50%.
42% exactly.
Wow.
So we're 42% down. So if we had 100 houses on last year, that means that this year we have 68.
Yes.
Right? So we've got, that's a big move.
It is.
That's a big move. You talk about 10,000, you're down to 6,800. That's 3,200 houses that are, or 4,200 houses not on the market.
That's a good point, Kyle, because 2 days ago, I decided to check on Rhode Island how many houses that we had available. There was 4,000 houses under contract, and there was only about a little less than 1,000 available on the market.
Singles or multis?
Singles.
Yeah, it's like 700 now.
Yeah.
So you're in the 700s.
Wow.
And 4,000 pending. That's sick.
Yes.
That's craziness. So we're in a really, we can't reiterate this enough. If people have a house that they want to sell,
Yes.
there's no better time than now.
Yep.
And at the end
That's
of the
right.
day, now is the time to make this thing work. Now is the time to move forward. So I think with you, I think you make a good point that we're about 12 to 18 months left of this really good market.
Yes.
Outside of that 12 to 18 months, I think at the end of the day, it's going to start to come down a little bit, but it's not going to happen like that. It's going to slowly trend down.
And that's what I appreciate you, Kyle. Your work ethic, the team that we have at Seyboth Team, we're the difference. We're the ones who find the houses. We're the ones that make dreams happen for the people. We get things done. If somebody wants somebody to represent them and do the right thing and do it once and do it right, it's Seyboth Team.
Yeah, and I think what we try to do is just really provide a great service, be honest with people, be upfront with people, explain to them what they can get from our service,
Correct.
and explain to them whether you're a buyer or a seller, what are those expectations, right? So a seller, I always talk about selling their house for the highest number, the most efficiently as possible.
Exactly.
For a buyer, it's getting a property that they really like at a price that makes sense. If they have to sell it tomorrow, they could be okay. So it's those are the things and those are the factors that we try to kind of give to people so that people can understand that. But at the end of the day, I think you and I can both agree that this job is not only fulfilling for us, but it's fulfilling for the people we're helping.
Oh yeah, I couldn't get a much better feeling, Kyle, if I have someone buying let's say a mobile home in Coventry, to somebody buying a $2 million house in Narragansett. I do every transaction the same. I treat everybody the same because that word of mouth means the world to me. Of how me doing a great job and me being there for them, me being there through the whole process, explaining the whole process, and understanding the reality of the game.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Agree 1,000%. And I think I want to just take the time to highlight your intelligence, highlight who you are, highlight what you do in this business, because I think it's something that we want to show the world. We want to tell everyone and get you out there that, hey, we've got Wilkins. He's in the bullpen. He's ready to go. Whether it's that Coventry mobile home, that $2 million on the east side, he can do one and everything in between. And I think that's awesome. So I appreciate you being on the show.
I appreciate you too, boss.
Absolutely. We thank you so much. And with that, guys, we are exiting another fantastic episode of All Things Real Estate. Everyone have a great day. Everyone have a great week and even better month. Guys, have a good day.
Have a great day, guys.